Good afternoon, Thrones fans, and welcome to another episode of my reviews for Season 6. It's been an exciting season so far, hasn't it? With 4 episodes in, and which means we're almost halfway through the season, which is quite sad, because then you just start getting into it again. It's over, almost. So, but that's the joy of HBO, they only do short seasons. Anyway, just a quick spoiler alert issue here. Because I will be spoiling last night's episode, or not last night's episode, sorry, Monday night's episode. Sorry it's been taking so long to get this episode up, but I had other stuff to do, like a history exam yesterday, which is fair enough, which is a fair enough reason why I didn't get this up, and I did my Gotham video on Tuesday, which is another reason why this hasn't been up. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. So, the title of this week's episode, Season 6, Episode 4, was Book of the Stranger. And it was said by Marjorie to the High Sparrow when they were talking together. And I assume it is their kind of, or it's the version of the Westeros. It's kind of the Westeros answer to the Bible. If you could call it the Bible in Westeros, I don't really know. It's kind of like their rule book and stuff. Like we have the Bible here in England or in wherever you are watching this video, or the Quran, or whatever religion you happen to be. Yeah, that's kind of what I think it is. Now my 5 words or under this week, I've got 3 words, and my 3 words are there's something missing. Because there's something missing, I don't really know what it is as such, whether it's because there's just a few storylines that I really got into last week and they weren't included this week, or what it was. I just didn't feel that it was as complete as it was for the last couple of weeks. Yeah, so that's my 3 words. There's something missing. So first of all, we're going to start down in King's Landing. Marjorie and the High Sparrow's conversation was extremely interesting, I thought. With the backstory of the High Sparrow being well acted by Jonathan Pryce, as I said last week, a brilliant actor. Great in the role of High Sparrow. I believe that he is performing that role excellently. And Marjorie and Loris's reunion was quite sad. Loris is Marjorie's brother, if you don't know the show that well, because you might be unfamiliar with names or something, because they're quite confusing names and there's a lot of them, so you might be a bit confused. Yeah, Loris is Marjorie's brother. And Marjorie telling him to remain strong, I thought was really brave of Marjorie. I always feel like Marjorie has been the stronger of the 2 siblings throughout since their introduction, or Marjorie's introduction in season 2, but Loris had a little role in season 1, but not really much. So since their kind of main introduction in season 2, Marjorie has been the stronger of the Tyrell siblings. Tommen doesn't want to upset the High Sparrow, but Cersei told Kevin Lannister, who is her uncle and also Jaime's uncle, and Elena Tyrell, which is Marjorie and Loris's grandmother, that Marjorie is set to make her walk of atonement soon, that the Sparrows are going to make her do her walk of atonement, much like Cersei's walk of atonement in season 5 of her 10, Mother's Mercy, where Cersei was paraded through the streets naked. It'll be similar to that, but for Marjorie. So she has convinced them to help her bring down the Sparrows, and also to help Kevin get his son Lancel Lannister back, Cersei and Jaime's cousin, from the Sparrows, because he's kind of been indoctrinated by them. Now the Iron Islands weren't actually on the title sequence this week, but this is where they normally come on the title sequence and events happen there, so I'm going to talk about it. Now, Theon returned and told Yara, his sister, that she should seize the throne for herself, as opposed to just kind of letting it go to one of their uncles, either Euron or Victarion Greyjoy. Now Victarion Greyjoy, we've only seen a little bit of, and I want to see more of him because he's been teased for such a long time, and in the books he's quite a prominent character, I think, but he's kind of been cut from the show, and I'd like to see that. But the reunion itself was quite sweet, seeing Theon as Theon, obviously, as opposed to not being Reek, which was the last time they kind of met at Deepwood Mott, I think, was the last time they met, when he was in a terrible way and he was in a prison cell, and Yara tried to break him out and he told her just to leave him, basically. And another old location made an appearance this week, the Eyrie. Now, Robin Aaron was back this week, and I really do not like the actor who's playing him. I don't know who it is, but the actor is terrible. He just really annoys me. I don't know if he annoys anyone else, but if he does, please comment in the comments below, because he annoys me. Peter Baelish met with him to discuss Ramsay Bolton, and also trying to convinced him eventually to help his cousin Sansa, because he doesn't actually know, I don't think, that Sansa's escaped yet. So he's still trying to save Sansa from Ramsay, because he knows what kind of monster he is, even though Sansa's already escaped. So yeah, there's not really much need for him to go and rescue her. And at Winterfell then, Osha, or Osha, however you want to pronounce her name, met with Ramsay to discuss why she helped the Starks, and particularly Rickon, who we mentioned last week, who was brought before Ramsay as a prisoner or a gift. Osha seduced him, much like she did with Theon when she escaped Winterfell the first time round. To escape Theon, she seduced him and had sex with him, and then kind of ran and killed his guards and things. And she tried to reach for a knife on the table. However, Ramsay noticed and stopped her and actually stabbed her in the neck with another knife. And he's killed her, obviously, because she got stabbed in the neck. And it's really sad, because I liked her and I liked her character and I thought she was a great character. But now she's dead, which is really sad. But I don't know if that happens in the books yet, because I don't think it has. I think most of what's happening in Season 6 obviously has surpassed the books, so we don't actually know whether any of this is going to be in the books or not. The books might have her alive still, I don't know. Depends what Winds of Winter turns out to be like, in terms of George R. R. Martin's writing. Up at the Wall then, Sansa and Jon were reunited, which was brilliant. Sansa wants Jon's help to retake Winterfell. I think she's really coming into her own this season. This season is bringing out Sansa's inner strength and her ability to lead and to make her own decisions in life, whereas for the first kind of 5 seasons she's just kind of been a pawn in a game of chess almost. Like, everyone else has decided what she's going to do with her life, and she's been controlled by Joffrey, she's been controlled by Cersei, she's been controlled by Ramsay and Peter Baelish and everybody else, and finally now she's starting to take charge of her life and trying to win back the home that she grew up in for herself, which is the Stark's home, which is Winterfell. Brienne spoke to Davos and Melisandre and confirmed that she killed Stannis Baratheon, which was a great scene. I really liked that, the scene between them three. It was a really good, really interesting scene. And then a letter from Ramsay arrived to Jon Snow, which was really horrible, saying about lots of horrible things, like he was going to gouge Jon's eyes out and he was going to kill his brother, and how he was going to let all his soldiers rape Sansa and things like that. It was really horrible and disgusting. And finally, Jon agreed to help Sansa along with the wildlings, and also Sansa has reminded Jon that he is the last true heir to Winterfell, as he is Ned Stark's son, obviously his bastard son, but she's kind of said, well, as you're the last true heir to Winterfell, you can unite the North and get them to fight for you, all the main houses of the North. So we'll have to see what happens. I really hope that that's the major battle we've been teased with in the trailer and for so long now. I really hope that's the major battle between Ramsay's forces and Jon's. It'd be an amazing battle. It's going to be fantastic. I think it's episode 9 it's going, because normally everything big happens in episode 9. So yeah, we look forward to that. And over the Narrow Sea in base Dothrak then, Jorah and Daario arrived to rescue Daenerys by killing, in doing so, they killed 2 Dothraki soldiers, or 2 Dothraki sentries, or whatever you want to call them, whatever they were. They obviously don't carry weapons inside base Dothrak because it's not allowed. Just a little bit of kind of trivia for you here, guys, about Game of Thrones, because, you know, we like doing this. Daenerys made friends with a young Dosh Khaleen member, which was really sweet, because she was in a similar position herself before she, the loss of her Khal Drogo in season 1, and she was in a similar position until she obviously started taking all of her cities that she has and controlled, or has kind of liberated and taken control of Meereen now. And then they were confronted by Jorah and Daario outside the tent, and Daenerys told them that she had a plan ready, which I won't tell you. I'm going to leave you in suspense, because if you watch the episode you'll know the plan. If you haven't, why are you watching this video, because you will spoil it completely. But the plan we're going to discuss right at the end, because I always discuss the ending of Game of Thrones at the end of the video. So over in Essos we've got Vaistofrak, and then up in the northern part of Essos we've got Marine. Now, Tyrion met with the Masters of Astaport, Yunkai and Volantis and proposed a deal to them. Now, the deal itself was that they had 7 years to basically abolish slavery from their cities, and that they also had to stop giving support to the Sons of the Harpy. Now, Missandei and Grey Worm were not happy with this agreement, because obviously they were slayers themselves, and they don't feel very happy with Tyrion, and it actually made me quite angry at Tyrion, to be honest, because he upset them, and he's supposed to be working with them, not making them angry, and that kind of made me a little bit towards Tyrion, and I never felt that way, because I've always supported Tyrion from the very beginning, really, but I felt a bit, that's not really nice of you, Tyrion, why did you do that? So, you know, this is what this show does. It tests your loyalties of characters. It tests your loyalty to your favourite characters, because you suddenly feel like you don't support them anymore. And finally then, the ending. Now, Daenerys spoke to the Carls and accused them of being unsuitable to rule. Now, this was an interesting scene, because it showed Daenerys' full strength and power now that she's got, because she had the confidence to basically, claim that she should lead the Dothraki, as opposed to these Carls that had been leading it for years and years and years and years. This young woman has come along and basically thrown all their ideas out of the water. Now, she set fire to the temple, which killed all the Carls, and obviously, as we know from Season 1, and that's actually what I'm going to come on to in a second, she is flame resistant, because she's a dragon, or she's the last remaining dragon of House Targaryen. And she emerged from the flaming building, and it reminisced, for me, it was reminiscent of Season 1, the ending of Season 1. I think it's Season 1, Episode 10, but I think it's called Fire and Blood. Which is the Targaryen house words, or their motto, or their whatever you want to call it, which was really good, because I really like when they do this, when they do a reminiscent of Season 1, or they bring back an old storyline and they kind of make references to it. It's really good when they do that. So then my conclusion for the week. Now, it was a good episode. Well, actually it was a brilliant episode, but it's a good episode in that it carried on all the storylines that it carried on brilliantly. However, there were still a few vital elements missing for me, and I don't know if it's just whether it's because Arya, who got her sight back last week, wasn't in this week, and also Bran, who had a brilliant storyline last week with the Tower of Joy, and we didn't get to see him at all this episode, which was a little bit annoying for me. I felt that we could have had a bit more, which brings my overall rating down from a 9 out of 10, which is what it was going to be, to an 8 out of 10 instead, because of the missing elements. So yeah, that's my review for this week, guys, of Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 4, the Book of the Stranger. Really hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I hope to see you all again very soon. See you later. Bye!